Recently, I watched a video online about the Adept Chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I was listening, and being one of the people who went through the Adept Chamber, with Braswell Bay, it's interesting to me how they still trying to run this game or this scam about how there's one chamber and one book for adepts. I understand for the Moorish Science Temple of America, but that make it seem as if adepts are only made within the temple. Look up the word adept, and you might disagree. But adept of the Moorish Science Temple of America is somebody who's qualified, who know the works of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and able to use and apply them. Where the adepts meet, they meet in private, in their chamber. It's called a chamber. They perform rituals, rites, and ceremonies, rites of passage. It's a spiritual order. It's a central authority within itself. But it's where adepts meet. Chicago does not have, or anybody in Chicago, or, to be honest, the Moorish Science Temple of America, to use the word adept and make adepts. Especially when they playing games and using Masonic rituals as if that's the legitimate prophet's Adept Chamber. One of the last conversations I had in Chicago with Braswell Bay was explaining to them how they're unqualified in teaching what Noble Drew Ali brought and taught. They have confused a lot of people over the years. A lot. Even me at one point in time when I was under their administration. They say adepts are made, not born. But it's a genetic code in you that allows you to be able to have the character that the prophet needs, the moral character, to actually act like an adept. Most of these Moors are stealing money, lying. You say you got this roll of adepts from 1925. How many of them snake the prophet? How many of them snake you? I mean, really snake you. But we talking about these people who were made adepts in your chamber. That chamber is supposed to be an educational institution to really teach brothers and sisters how to work with their character and work with the elements and the spiritual environment in which they operate in. Most Moors go through the chamber and never receive any chamber lessons, chamber instructions, personal development, character development, anything. You say they have the book, but you're not teaching them how to use the books and the lessons, instructions, and these documents to improve their lives. But you say you have the only representation of the prophet? That's a lie. You once feared that I would expose you, and now I understand why. California is not under the authority of anybody outside of the state of California. We got to work it out. I know it's a lot of confusion with the Jones Bay, Cynthia, Moreland Hill, Bootheel, who people know as Cosmo. But that's our private California issues. We will not forfeit the prophecy and the prophet's teaching of it coming out of the West. We're not going to do that. So that other people can feel comfortable and say, well, we the originators, we the protectors, we home office. No, y'all not. It's too many people saying they home office. Too many people saying they the supreme grands for it to be a legitimate station that should be recognized by the nations. That's why we're not. So stop lying. Morocco don't recognize us as who you are, supreme grand people. But they do recognize Moorish Americans. And they're willing to work with us when we act right. So is the rest of the world. The different nations that the prophet named and the ones that he don't. They reach out. They willing to do the work with us if we willing to do the work. But it's too much confusion coming from so-called leadership. But it's really misleadership. So you Moors need to learn how to protect your states. We can help. But you got to learn. Moors going to have to do their own studies. And we can show you what to look at. But don't look at the people who call themselves leadership. Look at the prophets, his literature, nationality card, constitution, questionnaire, Quran. If you have they call it prophecies, the oral statements, the Moorish literature, the humanity book, old Moorish guides. Read that. Read what the prophet actually wrote. What he said, what they say he said back then. Because people are lying on the prophet so that they can make money off of him. And when I say prophet, I mean Prophet Noble Jew Ali. He is our prophet here in North America, but we honor all the prophets. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. And we teach about those prophets to the members, but even more so in the Adept Chamber, how to conduct themselves amongst those people who really conduct themselves as the followers of these prophets, and how to honor the temples and the rituals themselves. None of this is being taught. But you're charging people to go through chambers and people charging thousands of dollars for paperwork that don't work. It's just don't make no sense. So, Moors have to wake up. Stop letting people take advantage of them. But stop being so corrupted in your own heart that you're willing to allow corruption until you can't take it no more. Stop taking it. Because people are getting over on us. And it's our fault. Because we're allowing them. Like the old folks say, people can't ride your back if you're not bent over. Moors got to stand up. When I say Moors, if you're living in America and you were here before the Europeans or born here by the Europeans, and you look olive and all the hues of olive. If you come from Africa, Central South America, or any other 7 continents before the invasion of a certain seed, then you know your Moorish connection. All of humanity is Asiatics. All of them. That's the original name for humanity, Asiatics. But we Moors got to know what is really Moorish. And what these supreme grands and national grand sheiks are talking about, it's not it. It's fan club. It's personality cult. It's cargo cults. Look that one up. And that's not going to save us. So, y'all ready to put in the work, get in contact with those who put in the work.